Captain Larry Bell with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report.
Down here in Mesquite Bay, Bray Cove, the little cove that goes back behind Bray, in the little lake back here, back into Little Brundit that connects over into Big Brundit. All this area right here on the outside, there's been some redfish that are cruising in and out of this area here. There's been a decent amount of bait that's working here. Main things that's been working real good here since the big moon's been in place. We're going to be on the back side of it for heading into our transition days, headed toward a new moon. You can upsize those profile baits a little bit, but the best bait that's been working has been the burner shad and the little johns. Those both sizes there have been working really well for these redfish all back up in this area here. Good. We've had more water in here, big push in here, big range and tides coming in from the moon that's been pushing it in and out, sucking it in and out with the majors and minors. So pay attention to that if you're going to run back into these lake areas, because if you can get caught back in there when that tide's running out, you might, if you don't have a really skinny running boat, you might be in a little bit of a trouble. So make sure that you're able to get in and get out and got plenty of water to accommodate whatever boat that you are running. You can continue to come down here toward the back end of Mesquite, down towards Cedar Bayou, down the shoreline here, out there by the Texas Parks and Wildlife boat ramp or boat storage area. Continue around a little bit deeper water there. You can wade all that back end, that back corner there, all down this back edge. Again, the same two baits, the burner shad and the little john, have been working the best back in here. There've been some real good redfish that are starting to show up down in here, so just continue to work all this area. Be patient with this area. Sometimes they'll show up early, sometimes they'll be there later in the day, so you just have to kind of time yourself, work yourselves around those majors and minors, and find your fish. Back over here in Sundown, against the back shoreline. Again, with the tides that we've had with the big moon, we're on the back side of this big moon now that's in place, heading toward our transition days, headed to the new moon. So this water's really starting to fluctuate with the moon setting, moon rising. All that water's been pushing in, pushing out. There's been a good amount of flow coming off these back lakes right here into Sundown. Wade this whole area out here. Grass is starting to show back up. Got some scattered shell that's all back in here. If you want to get over there behind the little island that separates the ICW from Sundown, work all that area back in there. Work on the edge of the ICW when that tide's dropping out, so those fish are hanging in just a tad bit deeper water. Look for your bait. Find your bait working in those areas, and really be methodical when you work this. Again, the two best baits that's been working back in here, the little johns and the burner shads by down south. These two baits have been really good, very effective, all in here. Just look at your water clarity and pick your colors that you want to throw back here. You say work this thing all the way down. You've got mouths that go to the back lakes, and just work around those mouth areas, up and down this area here. Little lake that comes back down, little creek that runs back to another little area that comes back in the ICW. If you fish this area very much, you know exactly where I'm talking about. Both entrances on that, you can either fish it from the boat from the ICW side, or you can fish it in the water. It's a little squishy, so just be aware of that if you're going to jump out of the boat and wade that. And then, of course, the mouth on the other side in Sundown has been pretty good on that area there. Just, again, find your bait. Look for these fish that are cruising in and out of here. Again, you're going to take a little time. It's not fast and furious by any means, but you just got to be patient with them. Work those majors and minors into your fishing day, and you'll locate your fish. Off of Jaybird Point, all over here, the little back lake that jumps off of Jaybird there. Some people call it Sherman's. There may be a few other names for it, but this back lake here, if you fish that, you know where I'm talking about. And as you come on down, there's the next big back lake that's in here, just off of, as you come down like you're headed towards Spalding, all back into that area, the Vincent Slough. Some people refer to it as the Vincent Slough Lake. Again, with the bigger waters that we've had, the big high tides that we've been here with the moon pushing water in and pulling it out during the process of the night and the day, these areas back here become productive. There have been some good amount of bait back in here. This lake back here, I personally like to throw my topwater in here, cover it all really well. You can locate some redfish that are cruising in and out of this lake back here. The back area here, get on that back shoreline, work those mouths of those lakes that even push back. It's all very wadeable. A little squishy in some spots, but not terrible. Work it up against the back side of the bay of Sherman's Lake right here, or the Vincent Slough Lake here, and continue to work that top water. The burner shad or a regular swim bait have done pretty well in here as well. You may want to rig that up weedless, because the good grass is starting to come back. So when that water starts to kind of drop out of there, that if you don't have a weedless setup on your plastic, it may be a little bit more difficult for you. That's why I like throwing the top water in here, because it's been pretty productive. You can get have had some good amount of blow-ups, good amount of takes back in this lake, and if they're not, then we'll throw those weedless setups and see if we can't get them tagged on that. So just continue to work this. Look for your fish in this lake. Look on the outside against the bay shoreline there. Fish are starting to try to transition off the mud and get to the sand, but it hasn't fully produced to that just yet. So continue to target those areas that got a little bit more mud over it as opposed to sand. Find your bait working, incorporate a major or minor, and you'll be productive.
Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Larry Bell.